DFTW, yeah, you.
Yeah, I'm done.
Let's do it. So I think like a kind of fun way to start it or whatever would be like, being that you're a tattooer yourself, maybe just pick 3 tattoo images, that'd be maybe like considered classic walk-in style tattoo images.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think? Just off the top of your head, don't even think too hard about it.
Yeah, definitely. I would say like butterflies,
Nice.
with or without swirls.
Nice. I like it.
A nautical star,
Boom.
which I wish would come back, just because they're fun to do. And they have to be pretty fucking good. You know?
Yeah.
You can't do a
like
crooked, jankety one.
It's a test, no doubt.
You can't color the wrong side.
Yeah.
And then honestly, like lettering in general.
Boom, baby.
Yeah, if I could do lettering all day, every day, I would be stoked for at least a month before I got burnt out, dude.
Hell yeah. So maybe like, what do you think draws you to those 3 images specifically?
I think just because it's nostalgic for me. Like when I started tattooing, it was definitely more like the tail end of the Cherry Creek stuff. So not necessarily like traditional images, like more like that stuff as opposed to like classic like panthers and eagles or roses are timeless, of course, but
For sure.
I picked those just because that's like what I think. Like if someone walked in and picked any of those 3 things, I'd be fucking stoked just to get to do one,
That's awesome. So what do you think, from maybe a bird's eye view or something, like what first drew you to tattooing?
Honestly, dude, I had a couple tattoos and I was in college for graphic design and I fucking hated it. So my story, I just got real fucking lucky, man. I dropped out of high school early and got my GED and started going to college. So all my friends were graduating and I was sitting up in the stands. I didn't have anyone to sit with because all my friends were on the field. So it was just kind of a kismet moment, man. I looked up and saw one of my buddy's older sisters was sitting next to a local tattoo artist, and I had gotten a couple tattoos from him before, and they invited me to sit with them, and I just hung out and talked to him and said, and at the time I had no idea I wanted a tattoo. I just mentioned like, hey man, I think I would love to tattoo. He's like, you don't want a fucking tattoo. It's like, nah, dude, I mean, I'm going to school for art and I'm trying really hard. I just suck at like the computer side of it, but I think I want a tattoo. He's like, all right, man, if you want a tattoo, come by the shop, hang out, see what happens. So yeah, dude, that's how it started.
When would that first be, do you think? When did you first feel the pull?
In that moment, it was
how old are you at that point?
I was 18, almost. Yeah, I was 18,
nice.
Just barely. Nice. It was May 2008.
Heck yeah, cool. So drove right into it. Yeah. What was your first tattoo experience? What was your first tattoo?
I mean, when we were younger, we had made jailhouse shit and tattooed each other. Me and a couple of the homies in the neighborhood. So we were just kind of shitty bus kids. Like, so we'd smoke weed, listen to music on the bus.
Hell yeah.
I don't know, dude. My dad grew up doing construction work, so some of his friends, had sleeves at the time and shit. People had tattoos then. It's not that long ago, but even still, like, seeing people with sleeves in Fruitland Park, like, there wasn't very many of them, and the ones that had them were usually construction workers or bikers.
Nice.
So I would say my very first experience, we had this fucking electric cuticle pusher, and we soldered like a couch sewing needle on the end of it. And it was fucking wild, dude. The needle, like, there's no tube, of course, and you're holding the machine. It's like 4 inches from the skin, so you're just trying to float 4 inches of needle. And at that point, we hadn't learned the trick where you tie string around it, to pocket the ink. So we were basically just scarring each other with a fucking dry needle.
Oh, brutal.
We would try to put ink on the skin and then tattoo over the ink. And if you could get some dots to stay, it was cool.
Yes.
So I'm gonna say I was like 13 when we first started doing that.
Nice. That's cool. So like, I could see you being very crafty as far as figuring out how to do that, how to make that happen, because like that information is not really readily available, right? Like, you kind of probably just figured that out, or what?
The figuring out the string on the needle thing was from one of the old weed heads.
Well,
like old weed head knowledge.
just
They're
building
like, nah.
one in general, just building
Yeah.
like a makeshift one in general seems
No,
pretty
well,
crafty.
I just figured out, like, okay, so we didn't do it the tape day. Never even thought about that till later in life, how you turn the motor on the side. This cuticle pusher literally went in and out. You know what I'm saying? So I looked at it and I was like, dude, if we pull the tip off and just solder a needle on there, boom, it's going to go up and down. So I just came up with that, but I started fabricating and welding with my grandfather when I was like fucking 10 or 11 years old, you know, taking shit apart, putting it together, looking at things, figuring out how to make something do something, you know?
Yeah. So then if those were your first, you know, needle to skin, when did you get a, like, what do you call maybe a standard shop tattoo, or even if it came out of a house, but just like something that resembled like what you would call a, you know, finished tat?
So the first one I got, my mother called the studio. They said, yeah, come on up. We go up there, fill out the paperwork, and the guy does my tattoo. The next year, and it was a nautical star on my chest.
Oh, baby.
The next year, I go get another one. I'm 17. My mom takes me and signs for me again. And I got a couple in between those because they're like the hood guy. If you went in there with someone, they would tattoo you, you know? So I had a couple shitty ones. But the next year, I went in and I wanted to get tattooed by the same guy. I'm filling out paperwork, and my mom's signing all the shit. And the guy's like, yeah, I don't have time today, but I could do it if you come back Thursday. I'm like, yeah, no, I wanted to get tattooed by Bill. He's like, yeah, I'm Bill. Like, no, I want to get tattooed by Bill Gold. He's like, yeah, I'm Bill Gold. I'm like, okay. So we leave, go back, and I was telling my mom, I was like, that's not the same guy that tattooed me last time. She's like, no, it's not. So I go back, get my tattoo, and I'm telling him about it. And actually, no, I didn't even say anything to him until years later about it. But the owner of the shop at the time did my first tattoo and said that he was Bill. He's like, yeah, I'm
Nice.
Bill Gold.
He just impersonated him. Nice. Gotta love it.
Yeah.
Gotta get it done, you know?
So yeah, that was my first like real one. I was 16. It was at a shop called Feeling Lucky. It was around forever and ever. They had a fucking real quirky couple that owned the studio, and I had some pretty good talent in and out of there.
What like as far as, you know, how long have you been tattooing now?
17 years.
Nice. So for you, like, not speaking for, because I mean, I feel like in my opinion, tattooing kind of belongs to the individual pursuing it type of a thing. But like from your perspective, what is the core of tattooing for you? You know, like no matter what people try to stack on it or take away from it, there's always this like core thing. What is that to you?
For me, it's being able to make this almost impossible thing. Like, it's something that,
That's
like,
tight.
if you really think about it, like, you're doing something that's like shouldn't fucking work, you know?
You're right. Yeah, you're right.
So for me, like, that's, I would say, the very core of it. Like, I get to do this fucking thing that's like, it's pretty magical.
It's a great word. Yeah. That's a great way. That's a great word. Great way to put it. What would like you know, you're walking down the street and you look over. What makes like a 10 out of 10 tattoo for you? Not to say specific imagery, but what makes it so that it almost like had caught your eye or whatever to be like, oh nope, that's a hitter. It doesn't necessarily even have to be in a style that you like, but what makes a tattoo full? Yeah, go.
I would say if I don't have to look over, like if I see it, like
nice
on the corner, I'm like, holy shit, look at that fucking thing. If I can see it from 15 feet away, like, holy fuck, look at that thing.
I love that.
And it doesn't matter what it is or what style or if I can see a tattoo from 15 feet away, it's like, holy shit, look at that fucking lighthouse and the lady head or whatever it may be. Yeah, that does it.
Yeah, but readability.
Even some of that like minimalistic shit, like real big. If it's big and legible, and it's like, holy fuck, look at that Bart Simpson outline head, you know?
Yeah.
It don't even have to have color or shading, or if it's just a big legible. I think it's more for me, like not necessarily advertisement, but you know, like a good advertisement, you want to be able to tell what the fuck you know is being sold. Correct.
And if it's like a nonverbal communication, you're trying to get all that communication in one blast, one shoddy blast, you know.
You can fucking do that with an outline.
Yeah, for sure. Well placed, you know. Placement's like dang near half the battle.
That's the other thing too, for sure. But I think by saying something big that stands out, it kind of goes hand in hand.
Of course.
If it's big and, you know, upside down or crooked or weird, it might still be kind of fucking cool, actually. But placement definitely plays a part in it, for sure.
Are you still actively getting tattooed yourself?
Yeah, I just got tattooed a couple weeks ago. Nice. It's not as much as it used to be, but I still get tattooed a couple times a year. Some years I'll get more, but
sweet.
Yeah, I got tattooed 2 weeks ago.
Nice. What was the last thing you got tattooed?
My buddy Jeremy up in Georgia finished this mongoose on my arm. It's like a cobra mongoose fighting that I've had forever, and it just never got colored in. He reworked some of it and then just finished the last of it last week.
Is there anybody, like any niche tattooer or like kind of maybe old school guy or anything, whatever, that you could bump into that you'd want to get tattooed by?
Oh, dude, there's so fucking many.
Yeah,
I'm about space, dog. I'm gonna have to start doing second layers.
Yeah, nice.
Like I have butt cheek left open still. I still have some on my torso, not much, and then like the back of my knees. Who's
somebody who you'd want to like fill that up? Like just somebody random who's cool that you like.
Dude, there's tons. I mean, the one that I wanted the most for a while, and I almost made it happen, and it just didn't go through. I wanted a big Aaron Bell dragon.
Nice.
And I had a spot open, and honestly, I still probably have enough for one, but yeah, either Aaron Bell or James Tex is a new one on my radar. I know he's been around forever, but I just got introduced to him in the past couple of years.
Yeah, his stuff's
beautiful. And my buddy was like, "You've never heard of them before?" I'm like, "No, dude, I do now. Like, I can't unsee it now."
Yeah.
But I think I would have room for something from him. And I like so many different styles, too. So, dude, so many people that I would want to get a piece from. I think, really, honestly, Tim Hendricks, too, I would love to collect just because...
He's a cool guy, yeah.
I've heard that, and I fucking love his machine work and just everything that he's done with tattooing. And I love his story. Fuck, dude, I think, for like the top of the list, like if I could pick one, I think it would probably be a Tim Hendricks. And then just whatever he felt like doing for the day, Eagle or Rose, or I would love to get a portrait of my grandmother. So anything.
It would be beautiful no matter what. You know it.
Oh, I know. Yeah, for sure.
Or is there stuff that you're like carrying forward in tattooing, like knowingly? Obviously, there's like just doing good tattoos and providing a good service. But is there any like specific thing that you're like making sure the flame doesn't die out on this part? A focus beyond maybe style that you're trying to keep alive?
I put a lot of time into my apprentices. They didn't start tattooing for the first year. All they could do was trace the shit out of Jerry books.
Perfect.
Taught them how to watercolor paint. I taught them how to assemble machines, how to tune machines. So for me, just kind of like trying to carry on tradition and teach them what I know and what I know to be the way that works. And I don't want to say the right or the wrong way, like doing it with style and grace.
No, baby.
Yeah, just doing it gracefully, and then add style to it once you figure out your footing.
How do you think becoming a dad affected your tattoo journey?
It was weird for me because I had a son like 9 months after I started tattooing.
Okay, wow, yeah.
So I've always been a dad, but I've just become a better dad as I've become a better artist.
Sure.
So I don't know how it's affected it directly. I know that recently, like realizing the amount of time that I didn't have with my oldest son compared to my youngest son, like it became pretty apparent now that my oldest is a teenager and he's with me pretty much all the time. And then my youngest, is still 6 years old. So like, fuck, dude, I don't even remember this time with you,
Yeah. Well, how old is your older son?
My oldest son is about to be 16.
Nice. Yeah, I got an 18-year-old, and I feel the same way, kind of. That I only have one, but that you kind of just look up on that first one and it's gone. You're probably just like on full blast for creativity, anyways, right? As far as like
no, dude, no,
not really.
I'm like most other people. Like I have to work really hard for shit. Like I'll get moments, where it's like a fit of positive mania where I'll just bang shit out, but.
A fit of positive mania is a great assembly of words. I love that.
Yeah, it's just sometimes you got to roll with it, like whether it be depression or just crazy amounts of joy, whatever it is. Like when you get that fit of mania, you got to put that shit to use if you can. So that's kind of how I operate. Other than that, I just fucking, make the coffee and get going. And whatever happens, happens. Some days take more effort than others, but.
Yeah, no, I hear you. It is it's such a thing, busting out the paints and finding the time, especially if you got like other stuff going on, no doubt.
I would say the last few ones I did, though, I painted acrylic, and it was far more enjoyable for me. Is that kind of like how you paint with watercolors too, where you'll just make a thing and then make things out of it?
Yeah.
It's way looser, and it gets your brain to kind of turn the corner instead of like
being tied down to forms. Yeah.
Well, a lot of the paintings that I've done, like, it's like very meticulous, and if you drop the brush or fuck up, like, it can ruin your fucking week, especially if you have so much time on a big painting, and it's like, you got 500 scales done, and then you drop the brush on the 501st one. It's like, what the fuck? Like, I guess I'm doing a cloud there now.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna start painting looser again too. The ones that I have lined out, though, is shit that I just want to do, just to fucking hang up in the shop.
Yeah.
Because I only have a couple of my hand painted pieces, dude. I fucking give them away or trade them. Every time I do a painting, I either gift it to someone or I trade it for a painting.
Yeah, well, it's good to have it out in the world too, because then other people are seeing it and moving it around, and who knows who sees it and comes your way because of it.
I think about it like, I'll just do another one. I never do, but I'll just do a fucking another one.
What about maybe like recall like a tattoo high point in your career, just like something where you're just one of those moments where you're like, is this even real? Is this a
Oh shit, baby! I had so many.
Oh, I know, but I know.
Tattooing is fucking wild, bro.
Yeah.
Let me try to think of one in particular.
It's it's not. It doesn't necessarily have to be the high point. Just a high point where maybe like it could be at a convention or meeting somebody that you never thought you'd meet, or kind of like that you're maybe like grateful for. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't necessarily have to be.
Okay, grateful. Yeah. Dude, I'm grateful for just being able to go to conventions and meet people. And I guess probably the old Jacksonville convention. Like, I'm pretty grateful for that. It's changed over the years, but when I first started going to that show, it was fucking phenomenal, man. Meet so many people, and everyone's homies, and then you meet connections through them. But as far as like what the high point is, I guess if I think about it that way, like probably this first story I was telling you about, like getting tattooed by my mentor, who I didn't realize was the guy, or I thought he was a different guy. Like, I would say just meeting him in general, because he's done so much for me and helped me so much as far as technique and learning how to tattoo, and even beyond that, like just being a man. Like, he's helped me move in the rain. He helped me with my credit. I would say probably tattooing, as far as that goes, like connections, like that's the biggest thing I could think of. Meeting that dude and at the right place, right time, and just him happening to take me under his wing. Dude, everything else stemmed from that. Like, if I wouldn't have met that guy, I can't say that I would have learned how to tattoo correctly, and I wouldn't have had any of the other connections or any of that stuff that I've gotten from that.
So you probably worked for a bunch of shops, but would you say like that shop was the most impactful working with him?
I would say just him in general, because I've worked with him in several different shops.
Okay. Was there a shop that was like a super shop environment, I guess, including him, and then maybe having other hitters that are inspiring you?
Yeah, the first one, like when I was 20 years old, I bought a shop with a dude, and I had no idea. I was barely fucking tattooed. And the first couple of years, really, I tattooed out of the house, bro. The first guy I started with, I worked with him for 4 months, and then he died. So just long enough to get equipment and do a couple shitty tats.
Yeah.
So I was just tattooing out of the house. I had no idea what the fuck I was doing. Then I met another dude who was a family friend and worked with him for a year, and he convinced me to go half on a shop in a mall. Like, he had the opportunity to buy it turnkey. So we did that, and I worked there for like a year and a half maybe, and it didn't work out. But at the time I had that shop, I was going to this other shop and getting tattooed and hanging out with the dudes there. So when the partnership there failed, I went to that studio, and I got to work with my mentor, and I got to work with the owner of the shop and a couple other dudes in the shop. That's kind of where it all started. And then after about a year and a half there, my mentor opened another studio, and I helped him, go in and paint and just patch holes on the wall. So when we opened that shop, it was called Studio 441. When we opened that shop, I would say the next 4 years really is where I kind of started honing in on the craft and like getting really involved in painting and really starting to fuck with machines and meeting new people. I would say that was probably around 2012, 2013 when we started that.
Nice. And so the whole kind of scene feels weird now. Like, what is it that's changed with like how that seems like whatever that motion is? Where did that go as far as whatever you're doing now?
I just think technological advancements and just kind of how the world operates in general.
Yeah.
I think really after COVID, like, it fucked a lot of people up in a weird way that I don't think we necessarily
even know yet.
Considered being fucked up like that.
Yeah.
So I would say that's a lot of it. I think it's more of the world right now in general. Like, because once you're locked in and you're tattooing a client, like you sold the tattoo and you're doing it, like it's still the same as it's ever been.
Yeah.
It's the same as it ever was. But as far as attracting new clients or even walk-ins and stuff, I would just say like it's just outside influence that's made it weird. Because inside the shop, it's still kind of the same fucking. It's like a time capsule.
Well, the whole process is so old that when you start doing the process, it kind of falls into that natural rhythm. But like you said, like funneling the people through the door, you know, it used to be maybe like a sandwich board out front or something. Now it's a internet ad that hopefully is targeted to the right. Blah 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 blah. Whatever, you know.
I also have kind of a weird, super optimistic outlook on it too, because I only tattoo a couple days a week right now. Like I do other shit too to make sure the bills are paid. So now, like when I set up and get ready for my first tattoo on Thursday morning, I'm fucking sweating bullets. Like, do I remember how to do this? I haven't tattooed in 4 days or whatever. Like, it's still kind of fresh, man. I don't have to worry about cancellations and walk-ins and all that because I'm only booking people that I know are going to come in. And
still keeping
in the event that I don't have one, like at least I fucking worked, 3 other days doing something else, and I have money, so I just started doing that too, like the last 6 or 7 months. But I've been going back and forth from here to Georgia too for the past year, and that helped a lot because my buddy's shop up there is off a military base.
Nice, that's definitely
Yeah, dude, it's like tattooing used to be. Like, it didn't really stop there.
That's great. That's awesome. Yeah, and like you said, it's there's always this rhythm that if you can find that rhythm, you're good. Because people are always going to want it. They're always going to want that experience.
Yeah. But I agree with you. Like the way that it goes about them actually doing it is definitely changed. But fuck, even when I first started in 2008, like you'd have people. It was a little different because we didn't really have smartphones, but people would bring in like a magazine and show you the thing they wanted, or if they wanted paragraphs and shit, you would have to walk over to the library and print it out in Edwardian script on the computer and then walk down to the fucking corner store and pay 15 cents to shrink it on their copier. It was different there, now you have the iPad, everything is just fucking, if you want it to be, it's 2 seconds away.
The what do you call that, palette cleanser before the cool stuff pops up or something. Does that make sense? Because I feel like the hitters for recently for pop culture adds to tattooing is like those black neck veins and cyber sigilism, and I'm not hating on it, I'm just saying it doesn't seem very artistically forward.
I also don't think that that's going to be a style that's going to have a reinsurgence once it's gone out of style. I think like certain things are always going to be in style, whether you see it or not. They're always going to be there, or they're going to come back. Fuck, that cybersigilism wouldn't have come back if tribal, or wouldn't have started if tribal didn't make it come back.
Exactly, yeah.
So there's always going to be a thing that constitutes the other thing. As far as styles go, like everything's already been done and said, we're just kind of fucking putting a little different slang on it.
I guess with all styles, fashion or whatever too, they all like have these little ebbs and flows.
Well, now it's definitely weirder now because of how accessible it is to the general public and especially the youth. Like a lot of that social media stuff is very youth driven. Especially that cyber sigilism and some of the fucking crazy styles of fashion and even music. Like some stuff is just trash, you know.
Well,
But
and I wonder if it's like I was having this conversation with somebody the other day. I wonder if it's because like if you're not really having to wear that stuff out into the world first, you're like building the steam for it online
right,
that you
seeing
don't
how it
actually
works.
yeah, you don't actually have to get laughed at or punched or whatever when the stuff isn't that good because you've built it up online to be like with everybody clapping and maybe they're like bots or from another country and they don't even understand the fashion, you know. So
Well,
you got it in your head that it's cool and it's really kind of like maybe not.
on the other side of that too, what you just said, like a lot of that lashing is going to come from the internet. Like you don't see as many people out
Yeah.
there like your homies, unless they're your homies, you know, like homies today don't call you out for shit like they should
Oh
sometimes.
my god, I know.
You know,
Like if you have food
like
on your face, like fucking let me know, please, you know?
yeah, everyone's buried in their phone
Yeah.
or like just too worried about their own shit. But yeah, if they see, I agree with that. Like if they see it's going good online, like everyone loves this thing and it's the most popular shit right now. Like I want that thing. That's cool. But who's to say that in 10 years they're not going to be like, you know, the same as tribal armbands. Like you got a fucking tribal armband.
And that's exactly what
But
it is.
now,
Yeah, it's getting it without like understanding why you're getting it. It's kind of like wearing a band shirt and being like, "Oh, name me one song," and you're like, you know what I mean? Like it's not that it's terrible. It's just like, why the fuck are you wearing the
yeah.
band shirt if you don't know the band songs? And you know,
Well, that's unfortunate because a lot of the band shirts that people get called out on are sick designs, you know.
well,
They just don't know.
but see that this
Yes.
is the point of the conversation, kind of, is that there needs to be like conversations had as to like why are we using those? Did you just buy it because of the cool design, or I don't know? I feel like is that a trap set, you know, just to sell a cool
Yeah.
design, or are you?
I think it's weird if
Yeah.
you buy the band shirt and get called out and then you don't really dive into it. You know, like if you wear the band shirt and you don't like the band like at all after you heard them, that's weird to keep wearing it. But like, I give you the benefit of the doubt, right? You buy a fucking Nirvana shirt, it's like one of the most popular ones, or like a Metallica shirt.
Sure.
Fuck, dude. Even Thrasher skateboarding, like, cool. Because have you tried to ride it? Do you own a skateboard? Like, I do see that. Like, at least fucking try it. You're just,
All right.
otherwise, you're just a fucking billboard for something that it doesn't hold anything to you personally. You're just further accentuating, you know, the brand or the whatever it may be.
And that's the point. You just hit the point like a fucking hammer on the head right there, is that if you're just wearing a band shirt and you don't know any of the songs, you're just being a billboard for no reason. And it's not that you're bad or whatever, but why are you doing that? That's fucking ridiculous.
Exactly.
Like, be a billboard for your homies, for you, for your family, for anything. Coca-Cola, for Christ's sake, if you drink it, you know?
I'll go to bat Coca-Cola because I don't drink that shit, but I have a ton of old Coke shit and it's dope. So
yeah. No.
You see, maybe I'm part of the old problem, bro.
Hey.
I have a ton of shit in my kitchen that's Coca-Cola. I don't drink the shit. I fucking love their artwork, though. So
there's probably no wrong answer. I think it's just worth kind of observing these things. And there's really no forums to even discuss stuff like that anymore. Like you really don't know that you're wearing a weird band shirt until you're in a scenario where somebody's bringing it up, you know? Why are you selling like you know, fucking System of a Down shirts at Target? It's like, it's fine, it's cool, I'm glad because a kid can buy it, you know, at Target. But it's like, it used to be kind of like you'd go into this store for pots and pans and whatever, and then this store for band shirts.
I would say the wildest one I've seen is like the Misfits at Walmart.
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit. It's like, dude, I'm buying all of these. Are you kidding me? Fucking $7.88 for Misfits shirt?
Yep.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy.
Yeah.
But it's just a sign of the times, I
it
guess.
Is. Yeah. No, it is. And it's like technology used to be all fancy and only in certain places, and now everybody has it in their house and whatever. So it's like you said, it's a sign of the times. It just makes its way down the culture. Do you have any tattoos that like mean more than others to you? Do you have like one favorite or a few that you got in weird scenarios that are just
I get cool shit now. Like I usually just get cool shit, but I got plenty that have meaning. I got one on the side of my knee. It's my youngest son. His name's Rory. It's my youngest son as a Cupid, and he's wearing a dinosaur costume.
I love that.
Yeah, and then I got, I don't know, just like some words. I got my mother's name and a sparrow and a heart. That's pretty meaningful, you know. Pretty much all my shit's a memory. Either it's just a cool design. I got some random shit, but, you know, I gotta tell someone like, yeah, I want a robot ladybug. Like, that doesn't necessarily have a story, but fucking remember that point in time, and it was a cool idea, and I wanted it. Yeah. So, but yeah, I definitely got some that have real meaning to them. You know, I do consider like sometimes like how rad it would be to have like one suit, you know, like have a themed, like it would be so badass. But at the same time, like I wouldn't, like it'd be sick to have a leg full of clouds and, you know, chrysanthemums, but I wouldn't be able to have the cool little mementos that I do.
It kind of works as this like singular vision, whereas like what you're saying, you collect these almost what maybe like Hardy called like what were they, talismans, you know, little like
pretty much
little energy talismans.
The bodysuit thing too, if you think about it, like it's not too many steps further away from what we were talking about with the band shirts and shit. Like, well, why'd you get your whole body? Like, you know, unless you know the story of what that means in Japanese culture, like no, it's just fucking dope.
Yeah, so, and that's okay too, though, you know. But but at the same time, like, damn it, that's a really good point, because like I do respect the shit out of anybody who just pulls their shirt off, and you're a gangster. But
how many times have you met one of them? Because I've met, you know, probably a handful of them, and yeah, of course, some of them know some of what it is, but some of them just get the shit. Yeah. I mean, that Polynesian's an even better example. Like, there's plenty of people, and I don't want to say it's cultural appropriation, you know, maybe they have a aunt that's Polynesian or whatever, or they just like the way it fucking looks, but they don't know what every triangle is or what every square means. Or so I think what you're saying, it definitely is more about the artist, but it also takes the right kind of client to have that kind of commitment and dedication to give you, like, here's my whole entire body, I'm just gonna roll with what you think.
It's an interesting, just like whoever that is, it's like
it's the ultimate amount of trust, bro.
Yeah, there you go. That's it. Yeah.
It's ultimate. Like, you get tattooed by a tattooer, like, that's trust for sure.
Yeah.
But giving one tattooer your whole entire body, like, you couldn't be more intimate or more trustful of a person. I mean, really, unless it was a life or death situation.
That's a beautiful way to put it. Yeah, that's awesome. That's right on. But yeah, I don't know. I'm out here just kind of trying to build up a different kind of mindset than what I'm seeing out there, you know? And you're obviously on the level. You're very much like, if shit hits the fan, you're probably going to be able to take care of business. Whereas I feel like we're building modern human to be weak almost, or like not capable, or so based on convenience that, like, even the word convenience, to like bring two things together, it's like they're sitting in a chair and they're like, hey, bring me these two things together, and you do it and they're like, thanks, then I'm gonna take it, instead of going and doing it.
Like some more.
Yeah.
All right, just push the button, you idiot.
Well, but like, remember that Wall-E movie, and they're all like fat in those chairs and just can't do anything, and they fall out of the chair and can't even move. But I'm saying right now, we're socially that. We're becoming socially that. We're like, imagine when you go into an elevator, everybody's face is buried in their phone, and if they're not, like, you're almost like feel weird about that person. Like, why aren't they on their phone? You know, like. Was there...
Well, I'm a different breed, so I just fart as soon as I get in the elevator and assert dominance.
Boom.
Like, you're gonna make eye contact with me, and you're gonna look away.
Yep. You're like, apologize.
No, I totally get it, man. I fucking appreciate what you're doing, though, and like, I don't know. I tattooed you. It's been a minute now. 4 years ago, maybe.
Oh yeah. And, I'm gonna flash the camera thingy, the tap that you did on me. Dude, that was an amazing experience. You know, interesting day for me, as far as like, it was kind of a hardcore tattoo. Meeting you ended up helping me with some machines and things. Meeting all your crew over there was very interesting to see. You built like a really cool squad of people over there, and just the thing that you were doing, you know, like kind of piecemealing that place out. It's kind of a shame that you didn't really get to fully flex on that. You know, it would have been neat if it would have been neat if it would have been awesome if you had. It would, no, you for sure. But it would have been badass if you had bought out that whole L section, you know, and like the whole thing just be like tat, you know, corner or some shit, you know what I mean?
Oh, well, you had never made it back once I got the big spot. Like, I had 3 units at one point in there. It was like a taporium for a minute.
Nice. I remember you were moving through.
Spot. Yeah. Since then, like, I've seen your progress and like you making the moves and new connections and moving shops and getting into painting more, and like the progression of your art and your thought process. And yeah, dude, I fucking appreciate it. Like, I feel like you're actually trying to give something back, which is, you know, I don't want to say it's rare, but it's fucking not common practice anymore.
previous episode before this one is really kind of like how the individual, by going and doing adventure stuff and getting into things and then bringing that back to this group that we are involved in, it brings the whole group type of thing up, you know. So that's essentially that's essentially what I'm trying to do, is like you and me right now having a fun little conversation, and it's like being able to just sit in on that. And I feel like the only way you're really getting that right now is like maybe you go out to a bar or something and two people are having a really in-depth conversation and you could maybe sit close and listen, but you're not even really allowed to get too close. It's probably going to be about some fucking politics or bullshit where you're not really learning anything. You're just hearing some asshole's opinion, you know.
Right. Well, even better, you could just come get tattooed by us.
Yeah.
We could do that. And you leave with a fucking talisman.
Oh, for sure. No, most definitely. And even more in-depth with the stories, you know. So like,
you ever seen the fucking bio waste dude come in? It's like, go ahead and get the Maticide ready.
Yeah.
That motherfucker's touching everything, rubbing on his face with
these gloves. Stop. Just please, sir, blow your nose. Sure, please, sir, blow your nose before you come in with the gloves.
Yeah, dude, stop touching shit.
He's like, oh, this is an interesting rare painting, and you're like, no.
Yeah, thanks. I appreciate it. Cool. You fucking leave already? We just prop the door open and fucking go ahead and have it bagged up and ready. Just take your box, bitch. Don't touch anything. Yeah, man, I had a great time talking to you.
Most definitely.
Give me a shout. We'll make it happen.
All right, cool, man. Great talking to you, man.
Yeah, dude. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, catch you on the split, brother.
Wait.
Bye.
DFTW, yeah, you.